some of you have asked some questions about today's Edulastic, so I'm going to start with some of the ones that were asked earlier. And question 9 was one. So remember, for regular and irregular polygons, regular polygons are the ones that have the same side length measures, and the angles also are the same measure. So the side lengths are the same. So with these three examples, if we had a ruler, we could measure these sides and see that all the sides are the same length. But with the irregular, they all have different measures on their side lengths. And their angles are also different measures. Because we can tell that these are acute angles, and then we've got an obtuse angle. But here, we've got 3 acute angles. So another name for this would be an equilateral triangle. So all the sides are the same length, all the angles are the same measure. So that's irregular and regular polygons. On this one, they want you to arrange the polygons in order based on the number of sides, from the most to at the top to the least at the bottom. So the correct answer for this, an octagon has 8 sides, so it's going to be the most. A heptagon has 7 sides, so it's next. Hexagon has 6 sides. Pentagons have 5 sides. A quadrilateral has 4 sides, and then a triangle has 3 sides. So that's something that you'll just need to remember. We talked about before that an octagon, we can think about an octopus having 8 legs, so that can remind us that it has 8 sides. The heptagon was one that we haven't really talked about, but it has 7 sides. And then the hexagon 6, pentagon 5, quadrilateral 4, and then the triangle 3. Now here it says to label each shape with the best name. So since they want it to be the best name, this one is going to be a square because all the sides are the same length. They have the right angles. This one's the rectangle with the right angles, and then the opposite sides are the same length. But here, these two are incorrect. This one is correct, being the trapezoid, and it has at least one set of parallel sides. But this one should have been a rhombus. All the sides are the same length, and so that makes this one a rhombus. And then here, this one should have been a parallelogram, where we've got the opposite sides are parallel, so they'll run side by side and never intersect. So this one should have been a parallelogram, and then this one should have been a trapezoid. So these two, these are different types of trapezoids, but these are both trapezoids because they have at least one set of parallel sides. Then here, where we are graphing the information, the x, remember, tells us how much we go over. So 1, 2, we would go over 1 and up 2. So that one is going to be here. The correct answer is 1, 2. Then 2, 4, we would go over 2 and then up to 4. And then 3, 6, over 3, up to 6. 4, 8, over 4, and then up to 8. Here it says to use the hierarchy to help you answer the questions. So, remember, the square at the bottom is actually going to be linked up to anything above it. So a square would be a rhombus, it would be a parallelogram, it would be a rectangle, and then it could even be, with certain definitions, a trapezoid and also the quadrilateral. So these can get confusing, but if you watch some of the videos from last week, that will help with this. So all rectangles are parallelograms. That is a true statement. But not all parallelograms have to be rectangles, because some parallelograms don't have right angles, so they're not going to be rectangles. So that one is false. All rhombi are squares. So that one is going to be, it should have been false on there. Because all squares, could be considered a rhombus because it has the 4 equal sides. But a rhombus is not always a square if it doesn't have the right angles. So that's why that one should have been false. A square is both a rhombus and a rectangle. That is actually true. A square is a rhombus and it is a rectangle. All right, and this is about to end. So, a kite is sometimes a parallelogram. That's going to be true if it has 2 sets of parallel sides. A quadrilateral, all quadrilaterals are trapezoids. That's false. To be a quadrilateral, it just has to have 4 sides. And then, since this is about to end, you can kind of see the next one was true, and then the last one was false.